Before I start the video today, please share this video with everyone you know, you don't know. Support this channel. The best way you can support this channel is give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit that bell notification so that you are alerted with the newest video. I want to thank everybody for the beautiful letters, all of your help, all of your support. God bless every one of you. Thank you so much. It's Monday, March 30th, 2021. Dow Jones closes at a record high today. And so I guess this means everything is okay. The economy is back to normal. Everything is booming because the Dow Jones closes at a record high. You know, it's almost sickening to watch this manipulation that is taking place right in front of our faces. Wow, millions of Americans continue to lose jobs, hundreds of thousands of businesses decimated, but everything is okay because the Dow Jones is now setting yet again another record. So everything is okay. It's sickening. It's really sickening to watch what is taking place, and it's scary to see how many people actually believe everything is okay. But watching more of this manipulation today, what was the great news that the Dow Jones finished at an all-time high? What's the great news? 7, 8, 900,000 job losses a week for a year? Is that the great news? Is the great news all these vacant restaurants that I see, all the vacant retailers that I see everywhere I go? Read the comments down below. Don't listen to me. I'm just a guy reporting the news, reporting the facts. I got a camera and a microphone. But read the comments down below. That's America right there. That's the average American right there telling you he or she just lost a job, haven't had a job in 6 months, 8 months, or a year, can't find a job, can't even get an unemployment check after 3 months, still waiting for a stimulus check. Yet Dow Jones sets another record, so everything is okay. We've got some real serious things coming, ladies and gentlemen. We are no doubt past the point of no return. The economic fallout that we're going to see from this economy being shut down, the massive repercussions that we're going to see, I don't think any of us can comprehend what is coming in housing, commercial real estate, stock market, the massive debt and deficits. There is going to be a price to pay here, and we are going to pay the piper. He is coming, and it is going to be time to pay up at some point. And every day that goes by that this whole thing is staying on life support, you need to be preparing. You need to be preparing. Do not be complacent. This whole thing is a house of cards getting ready to come down, and it's going to come down real fast. I read an article today. It's all over the news. Many of you have probably already seen it, but this is just another example of why California is falling apart, while the economy is falling apart, why everybody is exiting the state, and why California is never going to come back. And this isn't just happening in California, because typically what happens in California eventually happens across the rest of the country. Top paid Los Angeles lifeguards earned up to $392,000 in 2019. And you want to talk about pension crisis and the cause of a pension crisis? How in the world are we going to pay lifeguards $392,000? And then when these people retire and they're earning 80 or 90% of this for the rest of their life, you tell me how this is going to be sustainable. Overtime was a driver for more than 30 lifeguards in LA County that brought in between $50 and $131,000 just in overtime alone. More than 30 lifeguards earned $50 to $131,000 just in overtime. There were a lot of people in LA as lifeguards that made over $100,000 in 2019. 340,000 public employees with $100,000+ paychecks costs the taxpayers right here in California over $45 billion. You know, and how are you going to feel when you're 80 years old and you have to go to work to pay for the fireman that lives next door to you while he's retired and taking his boat to Lake Havasu or God knows where, but you'll be 80, 82 years old having to work, 20, 25 hours a week at Walmart to make sure that you pay for this guy's pension. So this is absolutely insanity. It's unsustainable. And this is just going to further the pension crisis that we already have. And so while taxpayers are flipping the $45 billion check for all these state employees, we have a $54 billion deficit currently here in California. This state and many others, it's just a matter of time. And I find it amazing that everybody has to take a wage cut or they're getting their hours cut. Everybody's having to make a sacrifice. But if you work for the state of California, you're not making any sacrifice. And so why are these people not having to make the same kind of sacrifices that the taxpayer has to make that's paying their bills? Is the person at the DMV having to make any kind of sacrifice? But the construction worker is, the person working at the warehouse is making the sacrifice, the person working at the resort, they're making the sacrifice, the person at the gym is making the sacrifice, everybody's making the sacrifice. But if you work for the state, you work for the government, you don't make a sacrifice, you just get paid no matter what. And most of the time, these people do a horrible job. And I'm not bashing firemen or police or lifeguards, we need all of them. But I don't believe any lifeguard needs to be making over $300,000 a year or $250,000 a year and then retired 80 or 90% of their salary. This is absolute insanity, and we are all going to pay a massive price here. And why do these people, why are they allowed to have these massive pensions? Most of you are not going to retire with a pension. You're on your own. And that's why I reiterate on a daily basis that you need to be preparing. You need to have hard tangible assets, gold and silver. You need cash put away. You need to get the debts paid down because you're not going to have anything to fall back on. You're going to have zero. There's no pension waiting for you. And many of these pensions aren't going to exist years down the road. Many of these people that work for the state, for the government, right here at CalPERS, California, there's no guarantee that these pensions are going to be here 5 or 10 or 15 years from now. And the ones that are going to take a massive haircut. And again, this is why I reiterate this, that if you do have a pension, don't rely on it. You may only get half of it. You may get 25% of it. You may get zero. This is why you need to create your own retirement, your own pension. You need to be responsible for yourself. You need to put that gold away. You need to put that silver away. You need to put some cash away. You need to get the debts paid down, because if all this implodes, which it is going to one day, you're left with whatever you have, and you're not going to be able to depend on your pension or your politician or your bank. The Orange County Register, the local newspaper in Orange County, California, Anaheim will issue bonds for up to $210 million using facilities such as libraries, fire stations, and City Hall as collateral, similar to a homeowner taking out an equity loan. As most of you know, Anaheim in Southern California, Orange County, this is where Disneyland is, this is where the California Angels are. The 30-year bonds could be repaid without penalty after 10 years. Some officials said they hope to do this if at all possible. And good luck. I hope that they do. Anaheim is facing a deficit more than $100 million as of this year, and multi-million-dollar gaps in each year, in each of the next several years. So just think of a city like Anaheim that houses the Angels and Disneyland, and this is the devastation of tourism in the past year and what it's done to Anaheim. And Anaheim isn't the only city that is going to be selling bonds. It's not the only city which has a huge deficit and huge debt. many cities around America do. And when this happens to a city like Anaheim, this should tell you it can happen anywhere. Take a look at Chicago. It's completely bankrupt at this point. And now Anaheim in big trouble. And so they're having to put up their fire station, city hall, and library up as collateral. Again, tourism absolutely smashed. And what would happen next if this isn't enough? Well, they have to start laying off city workers, street management, public workers, firemen, police. They can't hire. It goes on. And so we are walking a very fine line here in America. And cities that we thought were once strong, we're finding out now are in trouble. And just think the damage that the tourism industry has seen. And many people, I'm sorry, I just cannot buy into this theory that everybody's going to go back to normal, everybody's going to jump on a plane, everybody's going to go to the resort, everybody's just going to go take a vacation. Half of America is extremely scared to travel, and half of America now is broke, relying on a stimulus check. And yes, maybe they will use that stimulus money to take a vacation since they're not paying rent, since they're not paying mortgages. But the money is going to wear thin, and when the money runs out, where are we going to be? These industries are going to be in massive trouble. They are going to be hemorrhaging. CDC will extend national eviction ban through June 30th. The protection was slated to expire, I think, in about 2 days. But now we're going to June 30th, so now people aren't going to have to worry about paying rent for a few more months. So we've got April, May, June, 3 more months. And of course, when we hit June 30th, probably by June 28th, there'll be another extension, right? We're just going to continue to kick this can down the road. 20% of adult renters said that they didn't even pay rent last month. 33% of black renters didn't pay rent last year. The billions and billions of dollars of back rent is astronomical. And how are these people ever going to make up? How are they going to make this debt whole when it is time to pay up? I mean, we've got to ask ourselves these questions. People believe that this is fantasy land. They believe that they're going to live off of unemployment checks and $300 benefits, I guess, forever, and that these extensions will continue to go on forever. Another article here on CNBC. Some landlords sell properties as CDC extends eviction ban. They're selling to recoup losses. And my question is, who's helping the landlord? And I know a lot of people out there hate landlords. These are small landlords. We need these landlords. They allow people the opportunity to rent homes, to rent condos, to rent apartments, etc. These are stepping stones for people, to save up money, to have the opportunity to rent a little house, save some money until you can eventually be a buyer yourself. These landlords rely on that income to pay the mortgage on that house, to pay their bills. And it's amazing that we can keep extending and pretending, but yet there's people out here not getting paid that should be getting paid. And whether you like landlords or not, what happens when there are no landlords? Are we all just going to rent from the government? If you think that that's going to work out well, you are kidding yourself. If the government comes in and starts buying up these properties, and now all of a sudden you got to rent through the government, it's going to be a much different situation. People just have no understanding where this is all going, and we're losing small business owners. We're losing the small mom and pop restaurants. We're losing the small landlords. And in return, we're losing the middle class. We're losing wealth. We're losing opportunity. We're losing our future, ladies and gentlemen. But people don't care. It's okay because they don't have to pay rent now. They don't have to pay a mortgage. They're getting free money. So now they can go to the casino. They can go to Walmart. They can go out to dinner. Not a care in the world. This is a powder keg, ladies and gentlemen. It is a powder keg. Subprime mortgage delinquency still at record levels. I talked about this a few days ago. FHA mortgages spiked to 17.5% delinquency rate in February. But yet, Dow Jones at all-time highs, everybody out shopping, everybody going back out to the restaurants, the ones that are open. And how many of these restaurants are 10 months behind on rent. And how are they going to make this debt whole? And how is this all going to play out? And still, we're at 25% indoor seating here, and we do have outdoor. A restaurant is not going to survive at 25 or 50% capacity with indoor dining. It's just not going to happen. They're still in the red, even though they're open and they're 10, 11, 12 months behind in rent. A FICO credit score below 620 is considered subprime. The FHA makes loans to people with scores well below that number. A borrower with a FICO score of at least 580 can qualify for a loan with just 3.5% down. With 10% down, a borrower can qualify with a credit score as low as 500 points. So people don't really have to put a lot of skin in the game, and you don't have to put really a whole lot of money down on a house, and the bank is making loans. The government is insuring these loans. People buying cars and houses with no money down. Ask yourself, what could possibly go wrong? You know, it's just that the car industry is amazing because you literally could put nothing down and drive off with a vehicle. It's really insane. You know, seeing these commercials, 3-4 months, no payments, low interest rates, just get the car off the lot. And many of these dealerships were not even confirming if people even had a job or confirming income. And how many people are out there driving a car right now who haven't made a car payment in 6 months, 7 months, 8 months? How many of these people bought these cars that didn't even have a job, lied about income, or even the dealership lied about their income? There's just so much going on here, so much manipulation from both sides. And it's going to end very, very badly, without a doubt. Wolfstreet.com, waiting for the $1,400 stimmies. Good article. If you get a chance, check it out. I'm going to just kind of paraphrase through this article here for you. During the good times, it says, services accounted for 69% of total consumer spending. This includes rents, mortgage interest payments, healthcare, education, insurance, utility bills, travel bookings, movie tickets, haircuts, gym memberships, ball games, etc. Services have been flat for the last 6 months, down 5.2% from a year ago. We look at stimulus and unemployment, the $300 benefits, all these payments, they're generating far more income than what was lost in wages and in salaries. So where is the money going right now? It's going to durable goods. It's going to clothing. It's going to jewelry. It's going to cars, patio furniture. It's going to weed. It's going to booze, cigarettes, shoes. This consumer economy has become dependent not only on the free money from stimulus checks, but also from the extend and pretend. Rent moratorium extended yet again. 2.5 to 3 million people in mortgage forbearance. Federal student loans automatically entered into forbearance programs. Extend and pretend. So we're going to keep extending forbearances. We're going to extend moratoriums with student loans, with rents, with auto payments, with even your phone bill. And we're going to just keep giving people free money. Ask yourself, really think for yourself here. Do you think this is going to end well for America? Do you think it's going to end well for the average American? It's going to end in devastation. It's going to be devastation when they pull the plug. And eventually it is going to be time to pay up. I'm going to close with this though. I was out over the weekend and I was viewing the extend and pretend. I was viewing and observing people out there spending that stimulus money, the 20-car lines at Starbucks, the lines at Ross and Kohl's, the lines at McDonald's. I mean, it's absolutely fascinating to me that when you just sprinkle some crumbs, how people just have absolutely no control. They cannot spend it fast enough. And as I'm watching these people, and I'm not here to judge, I'm just an observer, but I'm watching people out in broad daylight on a Sunday afternoon, literally walking around in their pajamas and their slippers, spending their stimulus money. And people have gotten so sloppy. And I just look, and again, I'm not judging anybody, okay? There's nothing wrong. You know, if you're dressing down, you want to be comfortable, I get it. But I mean, to go out in your pajamas, you know, and spend that stimulus money, it's really an interesting sight. But just to look at how people take care of themselves, you know, everybody is worried about the infection. And yet I look at these people, 300, 400, 500 pounds, and they have no care in the world for the effects and the dangers of obesity. And I think people really need to get their priorities straight. You know, if you're over 300 pounds, 400 pounds, 500 pounds, 600 pounds, and you're walking around in your pajamas and your slippers, spending your stimulus money, but you're worried about the infection, and, you know, more power to you. You know, if you are, you know, take precautions. But what about obesity and all this heart disease and cancers coming from obesity? People, you know, just don't worry about that. And I look at society today, just so sloppy, so dumbed down. They could care less about anything. All they care about is the next stimulus check. When's it coming? Where's my unemployment check? Not so that they can pay rent, not so that they can pay their bills down. Many of these people just getting that money to go out and spend it. And I just look at society today, and please don't take this the wrong way, but we have gotten so sloppy, so entitled, so lazy. Nobody cares about how they look. Nobody cares about their health. Literally, people don't even care that they, you know, walk right in front of you, cut right in front of you. No manners, no etiquette. And you know, I look at some of these old movies that were made in, you know, the 50s and the 40s and the 30s, and I look at how people dressed and how they carried themselves and their etiquette and the way they spoke. And even people that didn't have money still try to dress nice. They still try to look professional. You didn't need money to have manners. You didn't need money to have respect. You didn't need money to open the door for somebody. And you certainly didn't need money to say thank you for something. People don't know how to say thank you. People just have their hands out. They just want to take and get whatever they can. Many don't want to work for it. They just want to take. And we have people that come here and just want to take. And we have people right here from America that just want to take. And we have people abusing the system. And I just see society just going down the toilet. And I think, is this even repairable? Or is America already past the point of no return? Can we come back? I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. What do you think about society today? Can America come back? Do enough people care? Or is it too late? Do we have a society now that just wants free money, free stuff? Again, free stuff coming from other countries. Do people not want to work? Are we at that point now where people just want free money from the government? They don't want to work? Have we lost our place in the world? Have we lost innovation? Have we lost our drive? Is it too late? Let me know what you think. Please comment down below. I'd be really curious to know, do we have a chance or do we not have a chance? I'm going to leave it there today. God bless every one of you. Thank you so much for watching. Share this video all over the internet. Share it with your friends, family, people you know, people you don't know. Share it.